The best sports radio in Utah is right here, right here. This is Scotty G and the coach, Tim LaComb, on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Fired up for this. We've been talking about this game for over a year now. Inter Miami CF, as well as some guy named Messi, expected to be in Salt Lake City coming up and for a showdown against RSL. Joining us now, Zavier Gozo, kind enough to carve out a few moments for us. Zavier, how are you?
I'm doing amazing. How are you?
Doing well. When you're on that pitch and you look over and you see Messi, can you even anticipate what that feeling's going to be like for you?
Yeah, I've thought about it a lot of times. I don't know what it's really going to feel like, but I imagine it's going to be a dream come true for sure.
I assume you've watched him play growing up, and like everybody, idolized him. What's the how do you manage that and also the competition piece?
Yeah, for me, I don't think it's really hard to do that. I think I can appreciate someone's greatness and also compete against them. So I think for me, those two go hand in hand. So I think it's not going to be tough for me to be able to compete against him.
So look, I mean, you're still relatively young, but you grow up, you're from West Valley, you're part of the academy. At what point did it really kind of sink in for you that you're like, you know what, I'm pretty good at this. I might be able to make a living playing this game?
Yeah, I think after I had gone to the academy, I think my first year in the academy, that's when RSL was thinking about signing me, that's when I really thought, like, wow, maybe I can actually do this for real. So when I was maybe like 14, 15, around that age.
You guys are playing very good soccer to start the season. Give me your thoughts on the club and just how you feel like things are coming together.
Yeah, I think this club is amazing. I think the brotherhood we always have in the locker room, I think, is something special that is unique to Real Salt Lake and the company we have here. But I think the brotherhood is exactly why we're winning games and we're doing so well. And obviously the talent on the field as well, but I think it's the ungiven chemistry. It's like I feel like it's easy to play with each and every one of my teammates, no matter if we're starting or the people that come off the bench. I feel like the whole team is in one mind and on the same page always. So I think it's just flowing for us.
So RSL undefeated in 6 straight. Is that chemistry a big reason why you guys have had this recent run of success?
100%. I think the reason we have had so much success is because of how close we are off the field. I think each of us knows each other's strengths and weaknesses, and I think we cover for each other on those runs. So I think the next person covers my weaknesses and I cover his. So I think that's definitely the reason why we've found so much success lately.
Zavier, I'm an old coach. Give me some insight as to what Coach Pablo's all about. And I hear he's a unique guy with a unique mindset. But what's it like playing for him?
Yeah, it's awesome playing for him. He definitely is a unique guy. He has a unique personality for sure. But I think, he pushes you in all the right ways. And he knows how to, especially with me being a young player, and he knows how to work with young players and how to develop them and how to speak to them in a way that is going to help them and not hurt them. So I think it's been a blessing playing for Pablo and being able to work under him and have him support me as I've grown into the role that I am in now. So, I think he's an amazing coach and an amazing guy.
All right, so let's talk about that volley against Sporting KC. Everybody was talking about it. When you hit a goal like that, do you instantly know, like, all right, I pulled off something special there?
Yeah. As soon as I saw it flying towards the goal, I was like, oh, wow. I thought I was surprised myself a little bit there. So, and my family was right on the field, in the field seat, so I just went right to them, and it was a bit shocking for me.
When you get something like that to drop and you realize, okay, that could be a signature moment for me, just how much joy does that bring you as a player?
Yeah, it brings me a lot of joy. I think having those type of highlights to my name is like when you look at my name, you see these goals, these amazing goals. I think it's obviously super special for me to do, and I feel like that's something you always want to do as a player, to score amazing goals and have that be your signature thing.
When you come from the state of Utah, you're raised here. This isn't necessarily a hotbed for soccer in terms of producing high-level talent. How cool is it to be one of the guys that the RSL Academy can look at and say, look, we can produce high-level talent here in the state of Utah. Look at what this young man's doing. I mean, that's got to be an impressive thing for you to be able to be a result of the groundwork that's been laid for several years here in Utah.
Yeah, 100%. I think I feel blessed to be a representative and of Utah and of the people and the talent that Utah has, and the development skills that Real Salt Lake does have, and what they can do and how they can develop players. I feel blessed to be a product of that. And I think it's very special to me. Obviously, not many people come from Utah and do what I'm doing right now. So I think, it's very special to me, and I'm so grateful for RSL for giving me the opportunity to do that.
I saw an article today, Zavier, that said the get-in price for the game against Messi is like $450 just to get in the gate, with tickets being in the 10,000. This is a historic moment bringing him here. Your thoughts on what it means for soccer here?
Yeah, I think it's a great moment. I feel like obviously bringing the greatest player to ever play the sport is crazy to do, especially for a sport as big as soccer. It's the world sport. So I think bringing him in Utah and to have this many people come and to have the demand so high to come to this game, I think it's going to be huge for Real Salt Lake and the MLS in general. So, yeah.
The one thing about we talk about how a locker room in any sport can bring players together from different backgrounds, but I think even more so with soccer because it's such an international sport. I mean, you're a local kid from the state of Utah, you're 19, and you look across and you got a guy from a different country who may speak English as a second or third language, or may even struggle at all with the language, may struggle at a high level with a language barrier. But yet soccer can bring a team together. And you mentioned that the chemistry is really good. How hard is it to bring a locker room together when you guys have all different ages and different backgrounds and frankly, even different religions?
Yeah, I think that's the beautiful part about sports in general and soccer especially. I think there's so many different cultures, different religions, different people, and different personalities. But I think we all have one main goal, and that's what I think brings us together. I think obviously sometimes, even I can't speak to my teammate next to me. Maybe he doesn't speak English, or I don't speak Spanish, or whatever the case may be. But I feel like we still find a way to bond and be close together and feel like a family unit in a way. So I think it's definitely hard in some aspects, but I think us being different is what makes us special.
When your name gets associated with European clubs and other opportunities down the line, do you just let other people worry about that and you stay focused on soccer? Is it hard not to think about what could be down the line for you personally?
Yeah, obviously I see that stuff, and my agent tells me and stuff like this, but I think as of now I let my agents deal with that and my family think about that, and I focus on the task at hand. But of course I think about my future a lot.
Well, when you play against Messi and you put a couple goals in there, we can always remember, hey, we saw him win. So go out there, play well, man. We're excited for you. We're excited for this team, and it's a huge moment here for sports in the state of Utah. Good luck, and go get it done, okay?
Thank you so much. I appreciate you for having me.
You got it. Zavier Gozo, 19 years old. You will see him on some very big stages very, very soon. Not to say that RSL is not a big stage, but you got a lot of Premier Leagues banging down the door right now.
A byproduct of soccer.
How about that?
Sprouting in Utah. We talked about the hockey and the community involvement there. Be exciting to see that grow over the years, but just an incredible story. Eagle Mountain, Utah. And it is really, really sensational.
Well, and that's the thing. The academy that was built here, and the fact that it's just not a professional league, but an organization that is looking for ways to introduce the sport and create an outlet for a lot of kids to really pursue their dreams of soccer. Because I bet there's a lot of kids out there that wanted to play soccer and wanted to play soccer for a long time, and that was their number one love, but they realized there's maybe not a real future for me in soccer. So I'm going to go play basketball. I'm going to go play baseball or football because I can see more of an income-related opportunity there for me than going with soccer. But here, you got a young man who is on the verge of some greatness and is going to be pulling down some real big paychecks here really soon. And he can be an inspiration to a lot of kids around here.
Yeah, and I just love the fact that he's here. He's homegrown. He's ours, and we're excited to watch him. Big opportunity to be like Michael Jordan coming to play, American Fork or something.
Alex, you're a soccer guy. So when you look at the potential of this young man, and you know the scene over in Europe and things like that, like what's the ceiling on this kid?
I think the position that he plays and the style that he plays is very people in European teams want exactly the prototype of player that he is, and so I think his ceiling is incredibly high. There's already comparisons talking about like who's going to go first, him or Diego Luna, because Diego Luna is the other big name in Real Select that everybody's talking about. But I wouldn't be surprised if Zavier Gozo's not only goes quicker, but also goes for an even higher value because his skill set just translates so well to the European game.
So for those people out there that don't understand the transfer fee, essentially another team comes in and buys them from RSL, correct?
That's right, yeah.
So that can range anywhere from 10, 15. It can be ridiculous in terms of the price. And then essentially that team buys his rights and he becomes a member of that team, correct?
Yes. Essentially you pay the Real Select to buy out the contract. You pay for the transfer fee, and then he goes over to wherever that new team is.
It was such a big thing when Beckham came over, right? Because it opened up all this. And there are avenues now open that weren't open before. And so it's awesome. And the fact that Messi literally going to be right up the street, pretty cool.
He's going to be down the road, and it's going to be.
Are you going?
It's going to be awesome. I will be there.
Awesome.
I will be there on
tomorrow
night.
All right, so that means coming up on Thursday, we want a full report. All right, so this is just us talking, just us three. How confident are you that he will be playing? Because now there was a lot of worry that he wasn't, and now it seems like it's going the other way, that he is going to play.
I think to bring in a little bit more insight onto it is there's a lot of turmoil happening right now in Miami. Their entire coaching staff just left. Like they up and resigned, left for personal reasons. So I think I think the team wants to send a message of unity, saying that the locker room isn't as fractured as maybe rumors and reports are saying it is. And so I think it's a big message for him to come out and play here, whether that's 90, whether that's something. For him to start this game, I think would be huge to send that message of saying, hey, we're okay in this locker room.
How much did he go against Colorado?
He played a full 90.
He played a full 90, huh?
He's played full 90 every game this season. He hasn't been subbed out once yet.
There are going to be a lot of goals scored too, right? Because neither defenses are stellar.
Yeah, both defenses right now are struggling.
Right.
Miami's a little bit more than Real Salt Lake. I do think that there's going to be a lot of goals in this one.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
The soccer game was like it was played in Coors Field, the way the balls were flying out of there. What was the score, 4-3?
The Saturday one ended at 3-2.
3-2.
3-2.
All right. So RSL, though, hey, 6 in a row without a loss. So they're playing some good soccer. Every year it seems like everybody writing these dudes off, and they come out and they start playing well.
Absolutely, and I think a lot of it has to go with the formation change and what Pablo brings to this team, and they're off to a phenomenal start, and hopefully everyone hopes they can continue it.
All right, that is our soccer expert, folks.
That is our soccer correspondent.
And on Thursday, we want a full report, okay? We're going to give you a full segment to break down what you saw from Messi.
You got it.
Even in a Messi jersey, if you so choose.
Yeah, sure.
The Argentine.
We'll let that go.
That might be an HR violation.
Yeah, we're not I don't know. When's the last time you, okay, this is the old man in me. I think there's a certain point, how old are you, Alex?
26.
26. All right. I think that there's an age where you can no longer wear a jersey.
Well, then I'm going to wear one tomorrow.
Okay, see, that's the thing. That's the old man in me.
I don't wear them for any. I have the coolest. I have one of the red Patriots throwback. It's a Tom Brady. Like the old Steve Grogan red.
Oh, wow.
Patriots, Yeah. I like those.
All right, so if a Gen Zer sees a Gen Xer wearing a jersey, do you immediately go bro, no, don't do that?
No, I'm more in the camp of wear what you want to wear.
All right. Okay.
I mean, the Red Sox are horrible, and I'm sporting my.
All I know is if I were
Fenway
to walk out of a house wearing a jersey, my 14-year-old would light me up.
That's what I would want to see on video is his reaction. What Brody would do.
Oh, geez, that kid's such a pain in the butt.
You need to spend a little time with. I'll get him cracked into shape.
Oh yeah, yep, absolutely. All right, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Bill Armstrong. We're gonna go break a little early because Bill Armstrong expected to join us on the other side. Your first chat with the general manager, correct?
On game day, yes. On game day, a little less. So we've got to make sure we're tight.
Yeah, because that's one thing about Bill is that. He doesn't want he wants everything dialed in, especially on a game day. So he's a mind your P's and Q's kind of guy.
One day I was with Hans. We were actually at a hockey game together, and we passed Sir Armstrong in the hall. And I think it was after they lost.
Oh, I remember this, yeah.
And he thought, I'm going to go over and just say hey to Bill. And, he came back. He's like,
yeah, maybe.
That might not have been the time.
Shouldn't have probably done that. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
The best sports radio in Utah is right here, right here. This is Scotty G and the coach, Tim LaComb, on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. It is a game day, and we can't thank our next guest enough. Joining us on a game day, game 2 of the NHL playoffs, Bill Armstrong, general manager of the Utah Mammoth, kind enough to join us. Bill, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
Doing well. I want to introduce you to our new co-host, Tim LaComb. He's a longtime basketball coach here in the state of Utah. He's now doing the show,
nice.
And fired up to have you two chat.
Hey,
well,
nice.
We're gonna make you big. We're gonna make you a big hockey fan, Tim.
I already am. We had Jay Stevens in earlier, and I told him I actually learned to play hockey playing video games, bro. Like this, I played video games, and that's kind of how I learned the sport. But to me, it's crazy how much similarities there are to basketball when you watch them.
Yeah, very true. A lot of the same patterns, and it's a moving game, right? It's interesting. I think that if you play basketball, you can play hockey. It's a lot of similarities. I agree. The only difference is we got someone protecting the net.
Yeah.
I wish punches were more prevalent in basketball. You got to shut a guy up here and there.
Well, that's the good news about hockey. You can cut somebody and get some blood, and it's only a 4-minute penalty, or you fight somebody and it's a 5-minute penalty.
There you go.
So there are ways to take out your aggression. Yeah.
I joked. There's, if you're a first-time parent and your wife hasn't quite given birth yet, and you have all these people telling you all this advice, like make sure to get some extra sleep, do this, and you're like, okay, but nothing can actually really prepare you for being a parent for the first time. Like, there's no advice out there. There's no book that can actually prepare you for what that's like. And I'm sure you had a lot of great guys like, in that locker room that tried to tell these youngsters, like, hey, this is what you're going to be ready for. This is what it's going to be like. But until you take that first hit or that first physical contact in a game, you're probably not ready for it. How do you feel like your guys handled that?
We did good. I was really worried about it going into the game, just like how are they going to react? Is it first game jitters? Are we going through the whole game and not playing because we're so nervous and scared and we're just tentative? And our guys didn't. Our guys came out and played. I thought Coach did a good job of preparing them. I thought our young guys like Cooley and Gunther, they were some of our best players. They rose to the occasion. You got to elevate your play. If you're going to be an elite NHL player, you got to elevate your play at this time of the year, and that's what it's all about. And I liked our young guys. I liked the way that they played. They weren't afraid of it. They went after it right away. And Vegas came out, tried to intimidate us, like we knew they would, and we matched it. I thought we didn't get too carried away with it. Because there's a lot of nonsense that goes on after the whistle, and you got to play hockey at the end of the day. That's what decides the game, and you got to stick up for yourself, but you can't get carried away with the scrums.
I did like the extra headbutt though with no helmet. That showed a lot of.
I didn't see. I thought Jersey was just trying to get close.
Yeah, I did too. I didn't think he even made contact, man. That was soft.
Yeah,
Very soft.
You're right. Now that I look at it that way, I don't think it was quite a headbutt, but I guess other people could consider it one.
Obviously, you saw some great things in the way that they were prepared mentally. What are concerns you have going into tonight? for the Mammoth?
Well, the concern is Vegas is a pretty darn good hockey team, and we gotta make sure that we kind of adjust as you go along. Teams that are successful, I went through it with the Blues. We went into game one, and we ended up losing game one against the Bruins in the finals for the Stanley Cup. And I thought our team kind of adjusted. Our coaches did an incredible job at coming back and playing a better way. And it's all about the small little adjustments and just tweaking every game and getting better as a team. And it's our coaches are preaching a lot of different things than we were. Going into the first game, there's slight adjustments that we have to make. We got to play a different way against them. If we can do that, we can create some more offense. It'll be a different game for us. So I think there's small adjustments we can make tonight that will really benefit us and help us kind of take it to the next level against these guys, because they let's be honest, they're a good team. We got to come back and punch them in the face and play better hockey.
They're big, they're strong, they want to lay a lot of physicality on you. How do you combat that with your speed?
Well, it's a great question. It's really letting the puck do the work. If we're moving the puck quick, they can't really get their hands on us. If they do, it's a penalty. So we just got to make sure that before the puck lands on our stick, we know the next play, and then that way they're chasing. They're not allowed to get a hold of us and pin us and kind of take us off our game and use their size. We got to keep that puck in motion the whole night tonight. Move it quick and just let our speed get us into the holes to shoot the puck and attack. So I think there's work we can do. I don't think that was a bad game for us, but that wasn't our best game.
How do you handle a game day? I was just telling Scotty before we got on the air, I coached a ton in the West Coast, and we'd play these 8-9 o'clock West Coast games, and I loved game time, but game day was horrible, because your stomach's just churning. I know I've heard through the grapevine you're a little superstitious at times. How do you handle game day, man?
Not great. I mean, it's
so you're like me. You just lay around like, oh.
Yeah, I'm ready to fight all day. As soon as I wake up and realize it's game day, it's on. I'm ready to go. So, you try to use your day productively. Obviously, get a workout in there, stay healthy, eat healthy, do all the right things. But it's sitting in your stomach the whole time. Have your coaches meetings. We have referee meetings in the morning. So you try and keep occupied. That helps, kind of move the day along. But at the end of the day, we want to play. We want to fight. So, that's sitting in you all day. And it's no different than when I was a player or a coach and now I'm in management. That same, kind of thing's turning in your stomach. And for me, I want to go. Let's play. Let's get this. Let's put this on the table. Let's go to war here.
Well, I love that. I love everything about it. And I would just call it that. It was an ache, a game day ache in my gut, and as a basketball coach, the things that go through your head were nuts. Like, what if we don't score a basket tonight? Like all the crazy things that go through your head.
Yeah. It's interesting that you say that, because I when I was about 16 or 17, I had kind of make a business decision whether I wanted to get into to go to the next level pro hockey. To do that with my size, I had to fight, and I had a roommate one time, and he was a real tough kid, and he just said to me, I just made up my mind that I got to live with the pain of knowing that I got to fight somebody every night and just be okay with it. And I don't like it, but I'm okay with it because that's what I got to do. So I kind of feel like that as a GM, like that pain or ache you have, that's part of the gig. You just got to live with it and use it and know it's going to be there all day long.
There was so much talk about special teams coming into the playoffs, and a lot of us as fans and even members of the media are experiencing for the first time, and you hear that, and again, it goes back to you don't really know it until you see it, but that penalty was obviously a huge part of that game, and you were about 14 seconds away from burning through those 2 minutes, but it shows you how small the margin of error is in these playoff games.
Yeah, really small. In every series, not just ours, it's a fine line between winning and losing, and it might be a second left on the power play, and do you get the puck in or out? It's the smallest little detail that occurs because all the teams are really, really close. 16 teams left, and everybody's battling. And then we'll go in again tonight. There'll be a small margin of error that wins or loses the game. So you definitely have to make sure that you walk that line as an organization. And I think one of the things is, for us, we're not just happy to be here. We want to win. We want to beat Vegas. We want to win this first round. So I love the fact that our guys got that fight, that hunger, and when something doesn't go extremely right, it motivates our group, and we're extremely hungry behind the scenes to win the series. So I like where we're at, and sometimes you get a punch in the face and you got to throw a punch, and I think our group's going to be ready to go tonight.
Do you, we were talking to Jay a little bit about forecheck, and, you get to a point where, like in basketball, you can pressure a lot, but sometimes you give up fast break opportunities when they break that press. How do you walk that line between trying to be overly aggressive in that and then also making sure that you're back and making sure you're where you need to be defensively?
Yeah, I think there's, you play 82 games to get to this point, so I think as a team, everybody kind of knows where everybody is, and we want to be extremely aggressive. If they can make 4 or 5 good passes up the ice and earn that odd man break, we'll give it to them. Our whole thing is, we're going to pressure hard and put as much pressure on you as we can. And normally when we do that successfully, we get the puck back. If they can make 5 great plays and they're unbelievable at it, well, we'll give them that chance. Most teams can't. So we kind of live with that. That's kind of the way that we do business. That's why we got a goaltender, right? Isn't he supposed to make the big save?
Yeah,
absolutely.
So, we have a method to the madness of putting the pressure and the way that we do it, and we'll live with the consequences if they can make 5 good passes and beat our goaltender. Normally it doesn't happen, so we like the odds, and normally we get the puck back and put them under some pressure. So I think when we do play aggressive and we're moving forward, we're playing the right way.
Bill Armstrong joining us right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone, general manager of the Utah Mammoth. I know, look, you got the game tonight. You want to get back with a split, but you've seen this home crowd. You know how crazy things can get. Can you only imagine what this is going to be like when you finally suit it up in the Delta Center? Oh,
it's going to be incredible. But I just want to thank from the bottom of my heart when we walk over to T-Mobile Arena here in Vegas. It's lined with Mammoth fans. Going through when our walkway going, it's incredible the amount. Yeah, the last game, we had chance, go Mammoth, go Utah, going in our warm-up, and you could hear it. There were so many Mammoth fans in this building. And first of all, I just love that. I absolutely love that. You can see that. Our owners going through the crowd, high-fiving all the Mammoth fans is absolutely incredible scene, and thank them all. And I cannot wait to bring this back. Let's bring it back tied. Let's get the win tonight. And that Delta Center, I know our fans will absolutely blow the roof off that. It's going to be incredible. You know what I actually like, too, and Ryan Smith was with us yesterday. He brought it up as well. When you hear those chants, Utah sucks, Utah sucks, you know you've gotten under their skin. Like, they don't say that if they don't think that you're a problem. And I in a weird way, I actually think that's an honor for a team that you have them so much on their mind that they're chanting like that. Yeah, and you're right, 100%. The only reason they're saying that because they know how many Mammoth fans are in the house. Yeah, and absolutely going crazy and making noise and chanting for us in warm up. It's truly inspiring for us. And you're right, when you hear that, we know we're getting them a little bit.
Do you ever just take a minute to think of how crazy the last 2 years have been, and the fact that that we're sitting here in the playoffs now, Bill, and you're in Salt Lake? I mean, you say thank you to the fans. I think there needs to be a big thank you to the Mammoth. I think the way that y'all have come in, embraced the community, made it about the community. It's an easy thing to get behind, man, for sure. But do you ever take time to just kind of sit and think, like, my gosh, there's a lot that's happened the last 2 years?
Not really. I don't know why I don't more often. Every once in a while, when I do see something, I reflect a little bit back. I really try to keep kind of moving forward. I am grateful, though, from the bottom of my heart, for our fans. My wife and I just absolutely love it in Utah. We couldn't have dreamed up a better situation than we are now. It is awesome. Our people in Utah are so positive towards hockey. They're so excited. I drive in on game day, come down the mountain, and from the moment I get in my car, I can see Utah jerseys, and it just inspires me. Just saying, hey, we get a few more wins. Wait till you see this place. It's going to be absolutely crazy. And our fans are just like, from the moment we get to warm up, it's just loud. And you couldn't ask for anything better. I mean, it's truly inspiring for our players. Even when we go to play Vegas tonight, that the crowd gathered around the glass is all Utah people. Our players love that. They don't take that for granted. So hats off to our fans. They've done an incredible job. We can't wait to bring it home Tide into the Delta Center and blow that roof off.
So I know you probably have to be a little careful on how you answer this, but when you see an opposing player point his finger at your young superstar and tell him what he wants to, what he's going to do to him the next time he sees him, does part of you, as an evaluator of talent and a guy that drafted, that's been a part of this young man's career, you're like, all right, let's see how he responds to this. Let's see how he handles this when he gets called out like that.
Well, you don't teach a baby shark how to bite. They know how to bite. They're born with that, and you don't teach Logan Cooley how to compete. He's had it since he's the middle child. Like, he had to fight for everything he has in life. His parents wanted no part of putting him in hockey.
I was a middle child too, Bill.
Yeah, because the older boys, were all playing, and they were all worn out, and that kid drove himself into the NHL because he's competitive, and he's tough as nails, the kid. And all he wants to do is compete and win championships. And, I don't worry about that. That said, in the heat of the moment, I've said far worse to people in the heat of the moment. And, listen, the other thing about that is we got a great culture here. Logan Cooley got run in with St. Louis. Our boys took care of it. And our culture, no different than Kraus fought, skated the length of the ice to fight Tom Wilson because one of our guys got hit the wrong way, so we're extremely protective of our teammates, our family, and that's part of our culture we've tried to bring into the Mammoth. Nobody takes advantage of us.
I love this so much. Playoff hockey is so much fun. I love every second of this. Hey, Bill, thanks so much. We appreciate it. We know it's a game day. You made some time for us, but good luck. Go get this one tonight, and let's get you back here in Salt Lake with a 1-1 tie.
All right, boys. I can't wait. We're going to bring it home on a 1-1 tie and blow the roof off.
Yes,
Thanks.
sir.
Good karma, Bill. Let's go.
There he is, Bill Armstrong, general manager of the Utah Mammoth. Come on. You don't want to run through a wall for that guy after hearing that?
I was ready to go.
Yeah.
I loved how he answered that thing about Cooley, too.
Yeah.
You don't teach baby sharks how to bite. They just do it. And I would say the reason that guy wanted a piece of Cooley is because Cooley got a little bit of him during the game.
Oh, yeah.
So
Absolutely.
I can't wait for it. Let's drop the puck.
Let's go, baby. You will hear that game on your exclusive radio home of the Utah Mammoth, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. All right, final segment. Coming up next, we'll wrap up this bad boy, get you ready for Jake and Ben straight ahead right here on the Zone.
Jazz, the Mammoth, and the Utes, Cougars, and Aggies. When it comes to sports in Utah, we've got you covered. This is Scotty G and the coach, Tim LaComb, presented by Mountain Land Supply on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
All right, wrapping up another edition of the show, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Fun one today. Remember, tomorrow we will be out and about. Just off that 106 South exit on Auto Mall Drive, we will be at Tim Dowley Mazda Southtown. By the way, 2 shows down now. Look at this. We're on a run.
Yeah, and I'm still here, which is great. My parking pass worked. I told my wife today. I said, I bet they keep me out. But hey, I'm back. Day 2, and we have another opportunity for some show karma.
Yes.
With Bill on today, and I kind of feel like he does. They're bringing that thing back Tide. Alex, you think so?
Alex, where are you at on this?
I feel pretty good about tonight.
Yeah, I do too.
1-1.
Karma.
Well, okay, so you talk about karma points. Ryan came on yesterday. Jazz won the coin toss. Bill Armstrong came on today. If the Mammoth win, karma's the thing, man.
We're going to make your show easy or your job easy, Alex, because we'll just, people be lining.
They will lining up to be on this show.
I've got a job interview. I need to get on there.
This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Mom, can you tell me a story?
Sure. Once upon a time, a mom needed a new car.
Was she brave?
She was tired, mostly. But she went to Carvana.com and found a great car at a great price. No secret treasure map required.
Did you have to fight a dragon?
Nope, she bought it 100% online. From her bed, actually.
Was it scary?
Honey, it was as unscary as car buying could be.
Did the car have a sunroof?
It did, actually.
Okay, good story.
Car buying you'll want to tell stories about. Buy your car today on
Carvana.
Delivery fees may apply.